Good morning students, this is the next lecture in the series of mechanical properties of fluids, and in the last class we started with the flow of fluids. We discussed the types of flow, streamline flow and turbulent flow, and then we discussed the equation of continuity. Now in this class we are going to study the two topics, which is energy of a liquid and another theorem which is very important for your exams, and which is Bernoulli's theorem. Right? So write the heading energy of a liquid. Energy of a liquid. So when any liquid or fluid flows, there might be three types of energies associated with that fluid, and these three kinds of energies are kinetic energy, potential energy, and the third one is pressure energy. This energy called pressure energy might be new for you, but you must have heard about these two energies, kinetic energy and potential energy. So kinetic energy is the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its velocity. We all know that, right? So if a body is moving, then it will have some kinetic energy. And potential energy is the energy of a body possessed by it by virtue of its configuration or by virtue of height. So that is called as potential energy. And now this third kind of energy, which is called as pressure energy, this is the energy possessed by a fluid by virtue of its pressure. So pressure की वजह से जो energy होती है उसे हम कहते हैं pressure energy. So these are the three kinds of energies that might be associated with a fluid, right? So please write down the heading energy of a fluid. And now let me dictate the content to you. Right? Whenever any liquid flows, it possesses three types of energies. Whenever any liquid flows, it possesses three types of energies. First one is kinetic energy, second one is potential energy, and the third one is pressure energy. Now we will be reading the energies of a liquid when we are dealing with the Bernoulli's theorem. So now under the heading kinetic energy, write kinetic energy per unit volume. Let me erase this now. So kinetic energy per unit volume. Kinetic energy per unit volume. What will be the formula for this kinetic energy per unit volume? We know kinetic energy is equal to half mv square, right? So half mv square, and because we are calculating the kinetic energy per unit volume, so we will divide it by volume V. Now mass upon volume is the density. So here mass upon volume becomes the density of the liquid. So it is equal to half rho V square. So this is kinetic energy per unit volume. Similarly, if we are asked kinetic energy per unit mass, so what will be kinetic energy per unit mass? It will be equal to half mv square upon m, and so it will be half v square. This is kinetic energy per unit mass, right? Please write it down. And then we will watch potential energy per unit volume and potential energy per unit mass. I hope you must have noted this. So now we are calculating the potential energy. potential energy per unit volume. Potential energy is mgh. So mass upon volume will become density, so it will be equal to rho gh, right? So it will be rho gh, potential energy per unit volume. Similarly, potential energy per unit mass, it will be mgh upon m, and this will be equal to gh. Fine. So this is potential energy per unit mass. Now pressure energy per unit volume and pressure energy per unit mass. So pressure energy का फॉर्मूला जो होता है that is equal to pressure energy. Pressure energy is equal to pressure into volume, right? So pressure energy per unit volume will be PV upon V is equal to P. So this is pressure energy per unit volume. Similarly, pressure energy per unit mass will be PV by M, right? Now what can we write? Volume upon mass. We know density is equal to mass upon volume. So volume upon mass will be equal to 1 upon rho. So it is written as P upon rho, pressure upon density. I hope this is clear to you. So this is pressure energy per unit volume and this is pressure energy per unit mass. So these are the three kind of energies that might be associated with the liquid when it is flowing. Now write down the next heading, which is Bernoulli's theorem. Bernoulli's theorem. So now let us start the discussion for the Bernoulli's theorem. But before that, I would recommend you to write what does Bernoulli's theorem states, so that you know what we are discussing. So please write down, if an ideal fluid is in streamline flow, if an ideal fluid is in streamline flow in a tube of non-uniform cross section, in a tube of non-uniform cross section, then the sum of pressure energy per unit volume, then the sum of pressure energy per unit volume, pressure energy per unit volume, kinetic energy per unit volume, and potential energy per unit volume. Kinetic energy per unit volume and potential energy per unit volume. potential energy per unit volume is constant over any cross section. Is constant over any cross section. So this is what Bernoulli's theorem states. If an ideal fluid is in streamline flow, right, in a tube of non-uniform cross section, then the sum of pressure energy per unit volume, kinetic energy per unit volume and potential energy per unit volume is constant over any cross section. That means if we want to write in the mathematical form, then we can write sum of pressure energy per unit volume. Pressure energy per unit volume is P plus kinetic energy per unit volume. Kinetic energy per unit volume is half rho velocity ka square, right? This is kinetic energy per unit volume and potential energy per unit volume is rho gh. This is potential energy per unit volume and the sum of these three quantities is constant over any cross section. Very important. So this is constant. Please write it down and then we shall do the derivation for Bernoulli's theorem. Sorry, the camera was slightly tilted. Now I think everything is visible. If an ideal fluid is in streamline flow in a tube of non-uniform cross section, then the sum of pressure energy per unit volume, kinetic energy per unit volume and potential energy per unit volume is constant over any cross section. I hope everything is written. Now we shall see how the derivation of this equation. So now we are going to do the derivation for Bernoulli's theorem. So we will assume there is a pipe of non-uniform cross section or a tube of non-uniform cross section like this. Let's say this is a tube of non-uniform cross section. Fine. So this is our tube of non-uniform cross section. ठीक है? The cross sectional area here in this region is constant and the cross sectional area in this region is constant. ठीक है? Let's say this cross sectional area is A1. ठीक है? And let's say this cross sectional area here is A2. Fine. Now suppose a fluid is flowing in this tube in this manner. It is going from here to here like this. ठीक है? And the fluid is incompressible, ideal कह सकते हैं उसे, and the fluid is in a streamline flow. ठीक है? ये चीज है. So now what we will do? We will consider a particular volume of the fluid. For example, I consider this tube is all filled of water, also with the liquid, okay, and now I am considering the particular volume of the fluid. So let's say this is one cross sectional area which is equal to A1, okay, and this is another cross sectional area here which is A2. ठीक है, इसको थोड़ा सा और सही कर देते हैं. So this is the tube. Now this cross sectional area is A1 with velocity v1. And let's say the fluid exits this cross-sectional area which is equal to A2 with velocity v2. ठीक है? So now this is our one system which is all filled with a fluid which is flowing inside the tube or the pipe. ठीक है? This is the volume that we are considering. Let's say this is A point and this is point B, this is point C and this is point D. I hope it's clear to everyone. Now we will consider the story after a very short time interval dt. So let's say in a very short interval time dt, this liquid has moved some distance. The volume inside it has moved some distance, and let's say the fluid that enters this cross-sectional area after time dt covers a distance of dx1, let's say. So let us assume that this is the current situation after time dt, and this distance covered is dx1, right? Similarly, this has shifted somewhat here. So let's say this is the current situation, okay, and the distance covered is dx2. Fine. So this is our story till here. And let's say this point is now A dash, this point is now B dash, similarly C dash and D dash. I hope the things have got clear. Okay? If we consider this fluid, this volume of fluid as one system and the remaining fluid as another system, okay, then the liquid or the fluid present inside this tube will exert pressure on this cross-sectional area, okay? And because we know that in a straight line flow, the pressure over any cross-section is constant. So let's say the pressure exerted by the fluid is here P1, okay? So force that will be exerted on this cross-section will be pressure into area, and because the area of this cross-section is A1, so the force exerted will be P1 A1, right? Now come here, consider this cross-sectional area. Let's say the pressure exerted is P2, okay, and because this cross-sectional area is equal to A2, so the force that will be exerted on this cross-section will be equal to P2 A2, right? So we write here P2 A2. So we have P2 and A2. Sorry, P2 multiplied by A2. This is the force that is being exerted. Now, when the fluid has moved some distance, here dx1 and there dx2, some work must have been done by this force. If we want to calculate by the work done by this force, then what we have is the force applied is in this direction, in forward direction, which is equal to P1 A1, and the displacement is also in the forward direction, which is equal to dx1, right? So let me write the work done by this pressure. Let's say this is W1, and now W1 is equal to F dot D. Okay? We know this is the formula of the work done, F dot D, and the value of force here is P1 A1. P1 A1 multiplied by distance moved is dx1, okay, multiplied by the angle between force and displacement, and because both are in the same direction, so the angle between them is 0, so cos 0 is 1, so we are left with these two quantities. Now dx1 can be written as v1 into dt, because the velocity at this cross section is v1 and the time taken is dt, so distance is equal to speed into time, so dx1 can be written as v1 into dt. So we have p1 a1 v1 dt. ठीक है? And one important thing to note is कि write this is the velocity and not the volume. So make a habit of writing volume like this and velocity like this, so that there will be no confusion, right? So this is the work done by the force P1A1, ठीक है, when the fluid has moved that when the fluid at this cross section has covered a distance of dx1. This is the W1 work done. Fine. Similarly, let us calculate the work done at that end. Let's say this is W2 and again F dot D. The value of force is P2A2. The distance covered is dx2 and multiply by the cos of the angle between P2A2 and dx2. Now because the force P2A2 is acting in this direction, P2A2 is acting in this direction and fluid moves in the forward direction like this, dx2. So the angle between them is 180 degree, right? So this is cos 180 degree. Chalo, let me write here cos 0 degree so that there is no confusion to you. Cos 180 degree is -1. ठीक है? We all know that. So this is P2A2 multiplied by dx2. dx2 is what? Distance is equal to speed into time. Again, the velocity there is v2 and the time taken is dt. So dx2 can be written as v2 dt. Multiply by -1. So W2 work done will be minus P2A2 v2 dt. I hope this is clear to everyone. Fine. Now write this and I am going to erase because there is no other space. So please write down this and now then I am going to solve it further. ठीक है? I hope everyone has noted. So now let us calculate the total work done. The total work done will be equal to W1 plus W2. ठीक है? So I am writing this. Total work done W is equal to W1 plus W2 and W1 is equal to P1 A1 B1 dt. P1 A1 B1 dt and W2 is minus P2 A2 B2 dt minus P2 A2 B2 dt. This is the total work done. I hope this is clear to everyone, right? Now, this work done W is used in giving kinetic energy and potential energy to the fluid. So, what we should say is W must be equal to this work done must be equal to, because this work must be used in giving velocity and so must be used in giving kinetic energy and potential energy, right? So we will have work done is equal to U final minus U initial and U final can be written as, let me write it that way, U final can be written as A dash B dash C dash D dash. यानी कि this is the new configuration A dash B dash C dash D dash. Potential energy of this A dash B dash C dash D dash minus potential energy of A B C D. This is A B C D. Fine. This is the change or the gain in potential energy plus the gain in kinetic energy is, again let me write it, K A dash B dash C dash D dash minus K A B C. ठीक है? I hope things are clear to you. ठीक है? Now this U A dash B dash C dash D dash यानी कि A dash B dash C dash and D dash, it can be written as W is equal to, please watch carefully, ठीक है? I am writing this term as U A dash B C D dash plus B B dash C dash C. C again. The potential energy of this configuration A dash B dash ठीक है, तो वी आर राइटिंग इट एज a dash b c d dash plus u of b b dash c c dash, ठीक है, तो ये चीज हो गई माइनस u of a b c d, यानी कि u of a b c d, तो it can be written as u of a dash b dash d plus u of a dash b c d dash. So I am writing it as u of a dash d dash d plus u of a dash b c d dash. Fine. So this is our change in potential energy. Now let me write change in kinetic energy. So change in kinetic energy can also be written in the same way. We have to just replace u with a k. So I write it as k of a dash b c d dash plus k of b b dash c c dash minus k of a dash d dash d, ठीक है, प्लस k of a dash b c d dash. समझ आ गई इतनी बात? I hope this is clear to everyone. Please note it down and then again I am going to write it. But before that, see one thing, that this term and this term gets cancelled here. Similarly, this term and this term gets cancelled here. Write it down and then let me solve it further. ठीक है? I hope you must have stopped the video and you must have noted it down. Now I am going to discuss it further, so I am erasing the previous part. Let me erase this now. Now, what you have to see, the height of this cross section is measured from its center. ठीक है? So let's say this is the ground or the reference line. ठीक है? And this is the center. This is the center, and the height of it is from the reference line is h2, and similarly of this end is, let's say, h1. This is the reference line and the height of the center of this cross section is h1 and the height of that center of the cross section is h2. Fine. So now let us write what we are left with. So we write W is equal to what? U B B dash C C dash, यानी कि potential energy of B B dash C dash C. इसकी potential energy we want to write. ठीक है? So this is the volume of the fluid. Now we want to write the potential energy for this. So we know the formula for potential energy is mgh. ठीक है? So what is the mass of this volume of fluid? Mass is equal to density into volume. Let's say the density of the fluid is rho, and what is the volume? Volume is cross section into this distance. Cross section is A2 and this distance is dx2. So the volume becomes A2 dx2. So we are writing the potential energy of this configuration U B B dash C C dash mgh. ठीक है? M is density into volume. Density is rho and the volume is A2 dx2. ठीक है? But dx2 can be written as V2 dt. ठीक है? So this is the value of mass and multiplied by G and then multiplied by H, and H is H2. So this is the value of this thing. I hope this is clear. Similarly, minus of U A dash D dash D, U A dash D dash D, इसकी potential energy कितनी है? A1 into dx1, ठीक है, A1 into dx1, but dx1 is v1 dt multiplied by g multiplied by height is h1. So these are the rules. Fine. Plus, let me write it here, plus kinetic energy के लिए kinetic energy of b b dash c c dash, b b dash c dash c. तो इसके लिए kinetic energy क्या होगी? हाफ mv square, हाफ, what is m? M is this thing just we have calculated, density into volume, density volume is A2 into dx2, dx2 is v2 dt. So this is m, and velocity का square which is v2 का square, right? Minus k of a dash b dash d, a dash b dash d. So it is written as half mv square, mass is rho a2, sorry, density into volume, density is rho, volume is a1 into dx1, a1 into dx1 is v1 dt. So this is mass and velocity का square, the velocity at this cross section is v1, so this is written as this. Fine, I hope everyone is got till there. ठीक है? Now just now we calculated the total work done. The total work done came out to be P1 A1 V1 dt minus P2 A2 V2 dt. So these two must be equal. So now I am substituting here the value of W. The value of W is P1 A1 V1 dt minus P2 A2 V2 dt. This is the value of work done, and this must be equal to this entire thing. ठीक है? So we write a rho a2 v1 dt gh2 minus rho a1 v1 dt gh1, ठीक है, plus let me erase this, we don't need it now. So we will write half plus half rho a2 v2 dt v2 का स्क्वायर, ठीक है, माइनस हाफ रो a1 v1 dt v1 स्क्वायर, ठीक है, ये चीज आ गई हमें. अब जब ये इक्वेशन में मिल चुकी है, नाउ व्हाट आफ्टर दिस? नाउ yesterday we studied the equation of continuity, and by equation of continuity we know that the product of area of cross section and the velocity at that point is always constant. ठीक है, so we can say a1 v1 will be equal to a2 v2, यानी कि a1 v1 will be equal to a2 v2, a1 v1 equal to a2 v2, ये सब बराबर होंगे. ठीक है, this is 2. ठीक है, a1 v1 a2 v2 a1 v1, ये यहां पूरी इक्वेशन में सब टर्म्स के पास a2 v2 a1 v1 है, and because a2 v2 a2 v1 ये दोनों बराबर हैं, so it will got cancelled from each term, and you can also see that there is also a term dt everywhere with each term. ठीक है, so we will cancel out wherever it is written the product of area into velocity and dt. So let's say what do we get after this? ठीक है, a1 v1 dt cancel करेंगे यहां से, we will be left with p1 minus a2 v2 dt cancel, this is p2, ठीक है, equal to, after this equation you have to write by yourself that by equation of continuity a1 v1 is equal to a2 v2. Then after cancelling the similar terms on both sides we get this equation that I am going to write. p1 minus p2 will be equal to a2 v2 dt, that this will be cancelled and we will be left with rho g h2, ठीक है, and here we will be left with rho g h1 minus of rho g h1, ठीक है, plus a2 v2 dt is cancelled, we will be left with half A1 B1 B2 will be cancelled and we'll be left with half rho V1 square. Fine. So this is the final equation that we will get. Now let me erase the previous part. नाउ जब वन वाली टर्म है हम उन्हें एक साइड पे ले लेते हैं एंड टू वाली टर्म्स को एक साइड पे ले लेते हैं. सो वी विल हैव P1 प्लस रो जी H1 प्लस हाफ रो V1 स्क्वायर इज इक्वल टू P2 is taken this side, so from negative it will become plus, and this is plus rho g H2 plus half rho V2 square, right? So finally we will have this equation, and now you can clearly see that this equation is Bernoulli's theorem. It says the pressure at point P1, the pressure energy per unit volume at point P1 is equal to potential plus potential energy per unit volume at the same point plus kinetic energy per unit volume at the same point. This entire sum of energy at this point is equal to the sum of this entire energy at that point. So we can write P plus rho gh plus half rho v square is equal to constant. ठीक है? And this is how we prove Bernoulli's theorem. Very important. ठीक है? I hope everyone must have understood this. Please copy it. Was this part not visible in the earlier video? But I hope you must have got this, and now if some part was not visible, you can hear my words out there and can complete that part, right? Sorry, I did not see that. There is no one to look at the video. Okay? So this is the proof of Bernoulli's theorem. Okay? Now after you have completed this, write one more heading. Bernoulli's theorem applied to a horizontal tube. Bernoulli's theorem applied to a horizontal tube. Bernoulli's theorem applied to a horizontal tube. Write down the heading yourself, and I am going to discuss it. ठीक है? Suppose instead of such a tube, we have a horizontal tube. ठीक है? Like this. This is again a tube with non-uniform cross section, but the center of each cross section is at the same height. ठीक है? Suppose this is the reference line and this height is h and this height is also h. Fine. So this is a horizontal tube, and now if we apply Bernoulli's theorem to this horizontal tube, what will happen? Because all the cross section areas are at the same height, so this term will get cancelled. If you write the equation